Very good morning and welcome all of you to this pre-market session. Today, let us prepare for the next action plan. Now, we will start with the Dowmantic method here, and let us start with Bank Nifty. As you all know that earlier Bank Nifty, this was the point where it had told us to buy a call option. We would have bought it, and as the price started increasing, now we were getting a series of dynamic system cautions on top, and at least more than a couple of times you could have definitely shifted over to secure your profit. Now the current trade, whatever we are holding here, the trade, the investment there in the trade is purely out of the profit. We have not invested our actual capital. So this trade is completely running safe and with zero risk on this particular trade. But anyways, as the price continues to move forward and any dynamic system caution keeps coming, we will keep shifting over. And remember, today is one day before the expiry, tomorrow is the expiry date. So any dynamic system caution on top, it is better we can shift over to the next contract also. And if the price starts coming down, then wait until it very clearly tells you to exit the call option. And once it tells you to buy a put option, then remember intraday 3 long is in buy, intra week is also in buy. And then as per dynamic system level 2 trading method, we are still holding on to the long position. So you must check the Tenkai signal if you get any opportunity to trade put option to decide whether to do the trade or not to do the trade. But then as of now, call option opportunities, you can simply go ahead and do the trade because all three of them are supporting you. So this is about Bank Nifty, and then and I'm sure most of you who have traded Bank Nifty must have made some good profits of late in this particular movement. Now here's the case of Nifty. Even in Nifty, if you see here, now as the price started increasing, once this intraday 3 long signal gave a buy, we would have got into a long trade and we would have bought a call option, and then in intra week there was a zigzag, so we would have exited with a very small profit. But then once again, as the price continued to move up, it again told us to buy a call option, and we are currently holding on to the call option. Even in Nifty, as there was a series of dynamic system cautions coming up, so we would have definitely shifted over our trade more than a couple of times in options, and currently holding on to the call option. And even in Nifty, you can shift over to the next contract just because today is one day before the expiry date, and then wait until it very clearly tells you to exit the call option. Now after that, if the price starts coming down and if it tells you to buy a put option, then you know that intraday 3 long is in buy, intra week long is also in buy, and dynamic system level 2 trading method, as per that also we are supposed to be in buy. So any opportunity to trade a put option, you must check the Tenkai signal before you do the trade. So there is a preparation for Nifty. Now Mr. Shiv Kumar, you have written that not clear. So if you can tell me what is not clear, then it will be easy for me to explain. Now, Mr. Sushil, before I come to all those individual stocks that you have listed out, let me just complete the dynamic system and all these things. Screen is not clear. Now, how about all others? Are you able to see it clearly? Yes. Okay, Mr. Shiv Kumar, you just have to check it from your end because from our end everything is fine. All others are also able to watch it clearly. Just check it once. Maybe if the net is slow, then probably it can happen. But anyways, this is about Nifty and Bank Nifty as per Dowmantic method. I will come to all other stocks that you have suggested in a while. Before that, let us go through the dynamic system level 2 trading method and DSPT. Then we will come to that at the end. So let me just open dynamic system and a chart. Just give me a second. I'm trying to open the chart of Nifty here. So there is Nifty, as you can see, currently as per dynamic system level to trading method. Now, once the price came down and reached this speed trend edge point, and from there when it started moving up, we would have got into a long trade at range 1, and after buying it at range 1, we are currently holding on to this trade. This is a big trade that we are sitting on, big profits. But anyway, since there is no trend edge on top, there is no trend at all on top, so we have to wait for range 4 or speed signal, whichever is lowest. We have to reduce 0.5% from there. So range 4 here is 10,265, and uh, speed signal is 10,070. So speed signal is the lowest value. So let us take 10,070 into 0.5%. How much does it come? It is a 50 points. So 10,020 is the number. So if the price trades, price of Nifty trades below 10,020, that is when we will exit long and get into a short trade for today. And until then, we will hold on to the long positions. Okay. So this is about Nifty here. Similarly, let us check what's happening in Bank Nifty as per dynamic system. In the meantime, if anyone else wants to check anything in dynamic system, then just let me know, because we can go through it now itself. All those people who wish to trade positional, then we have to check it as per dynamic system. All right, NIIT and LNT. Anyways, so this is about, I'm sorry, this is Nifty here. So here is Bank Nifty. Even in Bank Nifty, the price came down, reached a speed trend edge point, and from there it has moved up. And we would have taken a long at range 1, long back, and we are currently holding. Once again, even in Bank Nifty, there is a massive trade, big movement happening in our way. And since there is no trend on top, we once again have to check range 4 or speed signal, whichever is lowest. So range 4 is 21,429, and speed signal is 20,826. So if you calculate 0.5% on this, it comes out to be 104 point. Let us keep 105, round off. So it is 20,721. If the price of Bank Nifty trades below 20,721, only then we will exit long and get into short position. Remember, this value is only for today. As day proceeds, then these values will change and our exit point will come very close to the current market price. So all that you have to do is just hold on until that happens. Okay. So this is about Bank Nifty. Mr. Nabil Ahmed Siraj, as per NAP. All right, you are trading as per that NAP method, Mr. Nabil. If you have exited at range 2, should I wait for range 1 for re-entry again? You can definitely wait for re-entry, but then I would suggest don't, since you have exited at a weekly trend edge point, don't re-enter this week. You can plan for a re-entry next week. So even if you re-enter at range 1, then remember, if the trend edge point still remains, then still use range 2 to exit and wait there. Got it? So that is all that you can do there. And let us check this NIIT. Mr. Raghava, is it NIIT Limited or NIIT Tech? If you can clarify. I will check. Let me check for NIIT Tech itself, because What is the current position in this, Mr. Raghava? Can you tell me? I'm sure once the price came down close below all the three trends, then you could have taken a shot at range 4, and it has traded below that range 4. And after taking a shot, you know that there is no trend at the bottom. So if the price starts moving up, then you would have waited for range 1 or speed signal, whichever is highest. You should have added 0.5% to exit your short and get into a long trade. I'm not sure whether if the price has moved up till there, and if it has not moved up till there, then it means you are currently holding on to the short position yet. And then even today, if it crosses range 1 or speed signal, whichever is highest, calculate add 0.5%. If it crosses that number, you can definitely think about taking a long trade. But remember, there is a speed trend on top, which is at 1399. So if the price reaches there, then be ready to exit your long position below range 2. Anyways, all the price is trading below all the three trends, so the pressure is a bit downward. Okay, so this is about NIT Tech and LNT. In the meantime, Mr. Arun Kumar Panda says 10,120. It is not 10,120, Mr. Arun Kumar. It is 10,020 there, right? So not 120. You have to reduce 100 points from there. It is too deep. Yes, I agree. But then the point where we have taken a long position, we have taken a long position very early, and currently major part, uh, the initially when we took the long trade, the exit point was too far. Now the exit point has come up till 10,020. The major part of risk has been averted already. So even if we get an exit somewhere at around those levels, then we will still be in profit. But any which ways, this is how this entire concept runs. Now, as we keep on holding this position day after day, as we proceed, our exit points come closer and closer, and at some point it comes closer very fast, and then that is when we get an exit. Okay, so when I say 10,020, you also know that yesterday it has closed at 10,486, or somewhere around 400 ranges, and we don't expect the price to come down by such a big movement today, right? But then to be on the safer side, it is always right to play, know where is your exit for the day. Okay, but then this is how it has happened as per dynamic system. So let us check as what is happening in LNT. Now in LNT, you can see here the price has come down, managed to reach the trend edge point here, and then it has moved up and it has crossed the range 1. You would have definitely taken a long, and after taking a long yesterday, the price moved up, and at some point when it touched this trend edge point, you would have waited for range 2 sell below to exit your long trade. But then I don't think it has come to range 2, so you are currently holding on to the long position. Hold on to it. The price looks like moving up further till this mid-trend strength level, which is at 995.90. If it reaches there, then you can use range 2 to exit your long trade, or else until then just hold on to your long trade. But if the price starts reversing down from here, then use range 4 or speed signal, whichever is lowest, reduce 0.5% from there. That will be your point to exit long and get into a short trade. Okay, so this is about dynamic system, and last one, Mr. Badresh wants to check crude oil. Just give me a second, Mr. Badresh. Mr. Sarvanan Sivaraj, you want to take Adani Power and Reliance Infra, Reliance Power. Are you looking for a positional trade, long term or short term investment, or are you looking for short term trading? If you can clarify that, then I'll be able to answer it quick. I'm just trying to get into crude oil details. Just hold on. All right, so this is what is happening in crude oil. You can see here the price has come down to a trend edge point. We have seen it in the seen it in those days the session, and from here it has managed to move up, and we would have taken a long position at range one. Now this is also once again a beautiful trade, and we are sitting on a very good profit here. But then since there is no trend on top, then use a range four or speed signal. So range four is 2,995 and speed signal is 2,937. So you have to reduce 0.5%, which comes up to it is almost 15 points. So it is 2,922. If the price of crude oil trades below 2,922, that is when you can exit your long and get into a short trade, or else until then you can simply hold on to the long position here. A good trade once again in crude oil. Mr. Chetan Patel, BEL, do you want to check it as per dynamic system? Please tell me quickly. Live is it? Then hold on. Fine. Now, before I come to BEL and the other stock that you people have asked for, and Mr. Sarvanan has asked for investment, just hold on. Before that, I'll just complete as per dynamic superpower trading method. What are the trades? And then we will get into those points. Now, starting with Nifty here. Now you can see that the price is on the higher side. There is a dynamic system caution on top. But then before that, now what has happened here is, now right at this top also we had a dynamic system caution. Even here we have a dynamic system caution. Now as we had a dynamic system caution, remember now I'm talking about Nifty and Bank Nifty as per dynamic superpower trading method. But then before I get into that, let me also remind you people once again, those people who are trading as per the Daumantic method, just stick on to what you're trading following as of now, and those people who are trading as per dynamic system level to trading methods, stick on to that. You don't have to confuse yourself between one and another, right? Because in this session there are many people who are trading as per Daumantic method. There are many of you who are trading using dynamic system for positional trading, right? Those people who don't have time. And then there are many of them who are trading as per dynamic superpower trading method because they are here to make some big money. So all three methods are getting covered up here. So but then I just make sure that you don't mix up yourself. So anyways, there was a dynamic system caution on top, and from there the price has managed to slightly come down. But even if it comes down, we had discussed that we will wait for a better confirmation. So when I talk about better confirmation, we would have waited for intraday one long or intraday three speed. Now you can see here In this case, intraday one long did manage to give us a sell here. So we would have definitely exited long and got into a short trade. Right, we would have definitely managed to exit the long and get into a short trade. But after we exited the short trade, as the price started coming down, now right at the bottom, if you can see, and view 3, let me take it to spread view. As the price managed to come down in intraday 3, there is a zigzag caution at the bottom. Now, why should I look at this first place? Why should I consider the zigzag in the first place? Because there was a dynamic caution on top and there is a better confirmation. We should have held on to the short. This is a general thought process. But then if you see, as per dynamic system, if you see, the price of Nifty had already crossed above the weekly trend on top, and after crossing it on the higher side, then from the top it has managed to come down. But the week is still not over for us to consider whether the price has clearly closed above the trend or closed below the trend. But before the week gets over, now by Friday, last Friday when the market closed and when the week is over, then you would have noted down the trend values. Now if you see the price, when this zigzag caution appeared, the price was still trading above that trend. Now that is the reason we could have exited short and got into a long trade, because as long as the price remains above that trend value, there are likely chances it can close above that value at the end of the week. So we will give preference to long trade. We would have once again got into a long trade right at the bottom, and then we are currently holding on to the long position here. But even if you are holding on to the long position here, remember there is still a weekly caution on top. We must consider it, we must respect it. So, and you also know that there is a NMC monthly caution, major caution also on top, but still wait for a better confirmation. Now, if you get a better confirmation like ID1 long signal giving you a sell, then you can definitely go ahead, take a exit long and get into a short trade. Even if ID3 speed gives you a sell, you can exit long and get into a short trade. But once again, if the price comes down, if I come across any edge point or a zigzag at the bottom, and if the price is comfortably trading above the weekly trend value that we saw in the beginning of the week, then we can still exit short and get into a long trade. And considering Reliance, okay, now if you're trading in Reliance now, sorry, Nifty, then Reliance, normally it is also part of your Tenkai signal, isn't it? So if you look at Reliance, now what is happening in Reliance is, as per dynamic system, there was a quarterly trend on top, and the price of Reliance has comfortably breached those values, and it is trading at a very high point, and it is completely pointing upward as of now. So as long as it is also pointing upward, then Nifty will also have the strength enough to move up. So currently holding on to the long trade, but then as the price comes down, ID1 long or ID3 speed gives you a sell, definitely you can exit long and get into a short trade. But then when you get into a short trade, by then, if the price has already come below that weekly trend value that you have noted down in the beginning of the week, then I would say just hold on to the short position even if there is a zigzag or a edge point at the bottom, because there are chances it can come down strongly. So this is about Nifty. Let us check what's happening in Bank Nifty as per dynamic superpower trading method. Now, this was one very interesting example in Bank Nifty. Now, let us see this once again, the intraday one. Now, let us say intraday one long signal did give you a sell, right? Now, you would have exited long and got into a short trade. Now, after getting into a short trade, once again, as the price comes down, but it was clearly trading below the weekly values, right? So we would have held on to the short position and we would have waited until the intraday one long signal gives us a buy. But yesterday it gave a buy, but we should have waited for a clear buy. So when intraday one long signal gave us a clear buy, sorry, when intraday one long signal gave us a buy, at the same time, if you did cross check in intraday two, we had zigzags on top. These were the zigzags on top, so we would have waited. We wouldn't have exited the long position there. So sorry, we wouldn't have exited the short position there. We would have held on to it. But as we held on to it, later what happens? Just observe. The price comes down once again in intraday one, and it reaches the intraday one long signal edge point, right? So when it intraday one long signal gave a buy and there were some cautions on top in some other ID1, ID2 or ID3, then what does it mean? It means that is not your right point. Maybe you'll get a better price. Just hold on, isn't it? So the price did not go up from there. It came down. It reached a long signal edge point. Now, if it were to go down, then it would have definitely gone below this intraday one long signal to continue downward. But then once the edge point comes, since intraday one long is still in buy, we would have again, this short position we could have exited, definitely exited here at this bottom and got into a long trade. As soon as you got into a long trade, the price started shooting up, and definitely no action for these zigzags. Of course, you know that. So this one single movement would have given you amazing profits yesterday. I'm sure few of you must have done it if you have observed it closely. And currently we are holding on to the long positions, and when you're holding on to the long position, just observe this. There is a weekly caution on top. There is a dynamic system caution on top. If the price manages to come down, ID1 long or ID3 speed, whichever gives you a sell first, you can exit long and get into a short rate. But then, as I told you, don't forget to shift over when there is a dynamic system caution, right? And then once you get into a short rate, remember, if the price starts coming down, if there is any zigzag or edge point at the bottom, then just compare this number at the price at that point in time with the dynamic system weekly trend value at the end of the week. So if the price is comfortably trading above that, then you can exit short and get into a long trade. But or else, if the price has come below that, that was, I think the value was somewhere around 21,986 if I'm not wrong. So by the time intraday 3 speed signal gives you a sell, if the price is trading below 21,986, then you can continue to hold on to your short position even if there is a zigzag at the bottom. Now, Rohan has a question here, and his question here is exiting at intraday one long signal edge point. Ideally, considering the pressure on top, we should hold on to our short positions, right? Yes, Rohan, considering the pressure on top, we must do that. Your point is very right. But as I told you, now at that point in time, just give me a second. Now, at that point in time, there are two things that I would like to look at. By the time when the price reaches the intraday one, the long signal edge point that I just showed you, now is the price trading below that weekly trend value? That is one thing that I would have definitely looked at. But yes, it was trading below that. But then looking at the other Tenkai signals like let us say Nifty, where it is very comfortably trading way above the trend value, and if it very comfortably closes above that, there are chances it can pull up bank nifty also, the second thing. And the third most important thing here is the week is still not over, right? And considering the overall pressure, when you look at the overall pressure, you already know that the pressure from the bottom is very high, right? So it has to go up the other, and it is going up. So these were the points that one could have considered. But any which ways, the other thing that you could have looked at is, now only thing that you're trying to do here is, let me show you it. I'll show you this. Now only thing that you're trying to do here is when the price comes down to this edge point, now when you exit long and get into a exit short and get into a long trade, then obviously the only risk that you're trying to take here is wait for ID1 long signal to give a sell, and the risk is very less, so you could have done that. Or else, yes, if there is any confusion there, the right thing to do there is wait for intraday to zigzag breakout. Now that is a much better option, just because your confusion gets cleared there, because you did not take an action because of the zigzag. So now since there is a breakout, now you could have definitely gone ahead and done the trade. Yes, your point is right there. Clear, Rohan? So let us check what's happening in Bajaj Finance as per Dynamic Superpower Trading. Well, there is a case of Bajaj Finance. There is no signs of price reversing. So it is absolutely on an up move. And I hope, Manohar, you must be holding on to a very good trade here. Last time you did message me saying that there was a very big profits that you are able to see in Bajaj Finance. But anyways, as per dynamic superpower trading method, there is a dynamic system caution on top. We have a C11, we have a C5 weekly caution, we also have a NMC C1. So the pressure is piling up on top, but then remember the pressure at the bottom was a C10. So it is a very high pressure at the bottom still. But anyways, since there is a dynamic system caution on top, we must look for a better confirmation to exit long and get into a short trade. But as you come across any, DMBOTS and all these things, don't forget to shift over. Got it? So this is about Bajaj Finance. Now we have covered up all three methods, that is the Dynamic method, dynamic system level 2 trading method, and as well as this which is this the dynamic superpower trading method. Now if you have any other stocks that you want to check as per the Dynamic method, then you can tell me, because if I have to check it as per dynamic superpower trading method, it will take a lot of time. So anyone who want to check your favorite stock as per the Dynamic method, you can tell me. But before that, let me answer Mr. Sarvanan, who has asked for long-term investment in Adani Powers and Reliance Infra. Just hold on. I'm just trying to open the chart of Adani Powers to give him a long-term view for investment. Now, this is the case of Adani Powers. You can see here the price has reached a major dynamic caution at the bottom. Like we have a monthly DMBOTS, we also have a quarterly DMBOTS right at the bottom. And from there, the price is managing to move up. So there is a big pressure at the bottom. So anyone, if they have invested right at these bottoms, then, it is one of the best investment that you could have made. Now, anyways, the price is going up, but currently it is trading in an in-between trend. It is not very clear uptrend that started. Okay, so it is an in-between trend as of now. So just hold on, wait until the price breaches this level, and the level here is 41 rupees 94 paise. Okay, so if the price of Adani Power, which is this Adani Power, right? So Adani Power, if it closes above 41 rupees 94 paise, remember it has to close on a weekend. Friday's closing is very important for this number. Okay, if the price closes above 41.94 on a Friday, then the next trading day, that is on Monday, you can definitely go ahead and invest it. It is very close to do that, so keep a track of it. And once it does that, you can go for a long-term investment. Once you have invested for a long term, just be careful as the price moves up and reaches this point, which is speed trend is at around 66. So if you buy above, once it closes above 41.941, once you invest for a long term, and by the time the price reaches 66, be ready to secure at least 50% of your profits. Right. So this is what you can plan for as far as Adani Power is concerned, and Reliance Infra. Similarly, let me check Reliance Infra. Now, this is the case of Reliance Infra. Now, give me a second. All right, so this is the case of Reliance Infra. Reliance Infra very recently, it has gotten to a long-term uptrend, but then this is a very weak uptrend because it is not supported by any major pressure at the bottom here. And then as the price has moved up, now you can see here there is a DMBOTs in the monthly. So there is a pressure that has started on top. If I have any long-term investment in Reliance Infra already, then I will think about securing my profits right now. And then 32.98 is once again one major caution on top. Since the long-term uptrend in Reliance Infra, the current uptrend in Reliance Infra is not strong, there are chances the price can reverse very soon and get into a downward trend. Okay, so it is better if you have any long-term investment, you can cover it up completely at these higher levels in Reliance Infra. So this is about long term. So let me come back to dynamic July. Those who have been waiting. All right, Bajaj Finance ID1 long gives a sell short act now. Can I do short? Yes, definitely, Manohar. That is what I said. Wait for the better confirmation. So, anyways, HDFC, Hindustan Unilever, and L&T for July month. HDFC. Well, in HDFC, you can see here currently there is no trade. The action is telling us to stay tuned for the next trade. But anyways, the preparation is also telling us get ready to buy call option. You can see here the price is already moving up. All right, the markets have opened. But anyways, it is moving up. Be prepared. Maybe at around 9:30, it may ask you to buy a call option. So you can go ahead and buy a call option once it confirms. Okay, but you have to wait until it tells you. So this is the case of HDFC, and once you buy a call option, remember any dynamic caution on top, don't forget to secure your profits. Let us check what's happening in Hindustan. Now, before that, let me check what's happening in Bank Nifty and Nifty, because I have positions there. So my trades are also important like yours, isn't it? So anyways, it is going up and I'm holding a call option, so nothing to worry. So next 15 minutes. So there is no, you know, exit coming up nearby, so I can hold on, relax. So anyways, this is Hindustan Unilever. The action is telling us to hold a call option, so hold on to it. There's a point where it has given a zigzag breakout. When did I have told you to buy a call option? Okay, so you would have bought it and then hold on to it, wait until it very clearly tells you to exit the call option. So, but then if you have already bought a call option, there is a dynamic caution on top. So don't forget to shift over. And then LNT. Miss Rajani, are you asking about SBI as per dynamic system or as per dynamic live? And Mr. Vishal had asked for NCC. The moment you say NCC, I recall my college days, but then anyways, this is LNT, Mr. Sushil. You can see here, this is a massive movement. And if you have done this trade, then it is amazing, isn't it? I hope you have done this trade, because if you have asked, I think you must have done it. So anyways, it has given us a zigzag breakout long back where it has told us to buy a call option. The price was at around 23rd June. The price was at around 924 and now it is trading at 968. It is a massive profit. But anyways, there was a dynamic caution yesterday also. And if you have bought a call option, you must have definitely thought about a shift over. Now wait until it tells you to clearly exit the call option now. But then since there is a dynamic system caution, even now there is a dynamic system caution. If you still have a call option, it is better you exit it now and roll over to the next contract, because tomorrow is the expiry date. So this is about LNT. Mr. Badrej has a question. So Bank Nifty. All right, Bank Nifty. Let's check what's happening in Bank Nifty. So in Bank Nifty, मैं मतलब वीकली कॉशन प्रॉफिट बुक किया, अभी वापस आया तो फिर से शिफ्ट ओवर. हाँ बद्रेश जी, जब तक आप कॉल ऑप्शन में हो और जब तक ये डायनेमिक सिस्टम कॉशन आते रहेंगे और आते वक्त अगर आपका जो कॉल ऑप्शन आपने जो लिया है वो अगर प्रॉफिट में चल रहा है तो उसको जरूर शिफ्ट ओवर कीजिएगा. और करते करते आज जैसे आपको पता है हमें मतलब अगले दिन एक्सपायरी है तो आप अपना पोजीशन नेक्स्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में शिफ्ट ओवर कर लेंगे तो और बढ़िया रहेगा. ठीक है, शिफ्ट ओवर करते वक्त एक चीज ध्यान में रख लीजिए, जब आप प्रॉफिट में हो तो शिफ्ट ओवर करना बहुत ही बेहतर रहेगा. पर आज और कल के लिए शिफ्ट ओवर, अगर प्रॉफिट में नहीं हो तो भी मैं शिफ्ट ओवर अगले कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में कर लूंगा क्योंकि एक्सपायरी डेट आ रहा है. एंड लेट अस चेक व्हाट्स हैपनिंग इन एनसीसी. Well, even in NCC, the action says hold call option, so hold on to it. There is no, uh, there is no exit as of now. Wait until it very clearly tells you to exit the call option. And currently, you are holding on to the long here. There is no dynamic caution on top for you to secure your profit. But then anything appears on top, don't forget to secure your profit and secure it in the next contract. Got it? Now, Mr. Rajani, you want to check SBI. I think you must be asking for as per dynamic system. So let me open SBI. So there's the case of SBI, Miss Rajani, as you can see here. Now the price has managed to come down and reach a trend edge point, and from here, as it tries to move up, we would have taken a long position at range 1. And as per the level 2 trading method, we are currently holding on to the long. And then since there is nothing on top, we will wait for range 4 or speed signal, whichever is lowest. And from there, we will reduce 0.5% to exit long and get into a short trade. But then if you are trading as per the NAP method, uh, so there you would have checked the weekly chart also. So now, as you can see here, yes, so as you can see here, now yesterday you had messaged me saying that there is a weekly trend on top, but then it has not touched the weekly trend on top. Now I don't see that. But anyways, if you have already exited range 2, then it's better you wait this whole week. And if once the price clearly closes above the trend, right, then it becomes very easy for you to get into a long trade once again at range 1. But or else, even if it stays around the same level, and if you plan to do a re-entry, then you can re-enter on Monday, that is on next week, above range 1. So that would be the right thing to do. But or else, if you have already exited, then just don't do anything, just wait here. All right, so this is all about today's session, and I hope all your questions, all your stocks related doubts, everything has been answered. So, gentlemen, thank you all for joining today's session, and thank you all once again to have stayed in the session for this long. So, anyways, thank you once again. Wish you all the very best. I wish you loads of profits to come by your way today, and see you on the next session. Now, until then, very good morning, and thank you once again.